Alrighty. Good afternoon, happy days, beautiful people. It's your girl, the lovely Iwatan here on Let's Pop with Iwatan. Thank you so much for joining us here on the best radio station, the Black Heart Fire Network, where you find amazing, uplifting conversation in regards to what matters most, the African history identity, because it's always about understanding that you are the change you need to see in the world. It's always about redefining Africans as we redefine our minds. Thank you guys for joining me live on YouTube, X, Facebook, everywhere. Remember, you can follow us on all the social media platform for amazing, uplifting conversation. And today, we're going to basically get deeper into it, amazing, groundbreaking conversation here on Let's Pop with Iritan. And we're going to talk about Africa in crisis, everything that Africa has. But today, I'm going to have this conversation with a beautiful guest of mine, how we can be able to understand why Africa it is where it is and what can we do about it with what we have. But remember to like and share this TikTok, invite more people to listen into amazing conversation in regards to what matters most. Remember also to download our app on Google Store, stream on www.blackoutfinetwork.com, and on the app, on the star section, click on it and at the tab will appear the BHFN Sports Store. On it, when you click on it, it's going to lead you on another page where you find amazing healthy supplements for the guys who are working out. Remember, the keyword is super healthy. We're talking about alkaline foods here on the Black Hot Friend Network. You'll find amazing supplements for the ladies who are basically growing their hair. You want to have stronger nails, a glowing skin. You'll find healthy supplements on our page. Thank you so much, everyone, liking and basically joining us this beautiful afternoon on the Black Hot Friend Network. I'm going to introduce my guest. She's going to actually introduce herself before we start this conversation. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
You're gonna be a little bit louder. Feel free. It's a
Okay,
very safe space.
thank you. My
Yeah.
name is Joy Mona Lisa.
You're on YouTube. You're on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just excited to get into the discussion of today. It's
Yeah.
really interesting,
Right.
and I bet I have some insightful information for you guys.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
Basically, you've had that from Joy Mona Lisa.
yeah,
Beautiful name going there. We're going to talk about the Africa, or basically Africa in crisis, and also the minerals, the resources. We're going to talk about Ubuntu. We're going to talk about the power Africans have, but they're not basically using it, and why the Europeans basically find it so easy to come and take over what everything basically that belongs to us, and we're just watching. What should we do about that? Is it time, or basically time's up? We've been saying that. And I believe if you look all over right now in Kenya, because I'm here, you'll see foreigners everywhere. And we're not questioning about this. But I believe, as you always say, it's always about redefining Africans as we redefine our minds, learning and relearning. I'm going to share this short video to make us fast understand the main conversation about why Africa is in crisis.
true.
Sorry. Alrighty, amazing guy talking about the foundational Western character flow.
My critique, and maybe the critique of others who criticize the West, is that I don't really differentiate between colonization and imperialism and racism and white supremacy, feudalism, neo-capitalism, and so on. I don't differentiate these things from each other, and I don't differentiate these things from the culture and the character of the West itself. All of these things are manifestations of Western character. That's what drives these policies and these practices and these ideas. They're all just versions of each other. For instance, the same colonizer mentality is actually applied across every arena in the West. The mentality of exploitation of others' resources and the dehumanization and subjugation of those whose resources they are.
Let's first talk about the fact that he's saying exploitation of others' resources. That's happening every day here in Africa, in Kenya, name it. That was basically happening thanks to Ibrahim Traore for Burkina Faso for saying no to the colonizers, so basically taking over everything that they had, and now he's basically chased them away from his country. And he doesn't want anything to do with them, and he's going to basically use their resources and minerals to redefine Burkina Faso. What's your take on that?
True. The thing is, as Africa, we have a lot of minerals, we have a lot of human resource, and actually, our people are so strong
Yeah.
to a point where if we had the opportunity and the leadership and the correct knowledge how to manage ourselves, we would be far as a continent. The
Right.
problem started back in the day during the colonial period.
Right.
We are not going to blame all our failures on colonialism because we have a country like
Okay.
Singapore. It
Right.
was also colonized by the British.
Right.
But if you look at their economic system right now, they're amongst the richest in the country, according to their per capita income. So the
Okay.
problem really started when, back in the day when the colonialists came, we had our own system of managing ourselves. And
Right.
actually, when you go back to the Kenyan archives and you read the old documents and the records that they were keeping,
Right.
the first thing they did when they arrived here was to capture our leaders. The leader of the, speaking of the Kenyan community, the leaders of the Akamba and the Kikuyu and the Luo, the first thing they did was to capture the leadership system.
Okay.
And then the second thing they did was to hinder our communication.
Right.
So they actually went to a point where they were putting muzzles on people so that they were not able to talk.
Right.
So you see this hindered communication.
and
then
that is in our land.
yes, in our land. And also the leadership system went down. So we had a way of managing our own minerals, our own wealth, our own
Right.
resources that we had locally. But then when these people came, they
Yeah.
kind of dismantled that.
Mm.
So the people who actually passed away and died long time ago when the colonialism first started,
Yeah.
they went away with all the knowledge of how to manage our economic system and our people. So you find to a point where
Do
when
you think? I'm sorry. Do you think
Mhm.
they actually like agreed to their system?
no, of course not. We were coerced. We were kind of forced, you can say that.
Right.
Yeah, so after these people just passed away and went away with most of the knowledge that they had, you'll find that
Which knowledge is this?
how to manage ourselves. You know, we
Okay.
were grouped according to communities,
Right.
and these communities allied with other communities in a certain specific manner and a certain specific way.
Right.
So we had things to trade, and we were actually managing ourselves really, really well before these people
Alrighty.
came.
Yes.
But now, upon their departure, when they were departing, there were these slaves and these people who were working in these farms.
Right.
And actually, that's where the problem didn't start during the colonialism period. The
Right.
problem started when these people left. Because as they were leaving, they were selling this land to their immediate workers who were in their farms.
Right.
And these people just scrambled and took a lot of the land and kept them for themselves.
Right.
So not everyone had the opportunity to get this land ownership system,
Right.
because the people who are the immediate workers of the white people who left, they got
Right.
the opportunity to seize the land and take all the riches that were left behind.
Right.
So in that manner, you find, okay, we were trying to get back our economic back to being
Right.
stable,
Right.
but this was a problem because as we had already been dismantled, people ended up deciding and agreeing, okay, you know how we are gonna fix this? Let's create our community to be more social. So that's where socialism began in
Okay.
Kenya and Africa per se, after the white people left. So this meant that all the minerals that we found belonged to the government. That's why even up to today,
Right.
you know, if you own a specific land in Kenya, you don't own the whole of the land. You own it up to 6 feet under.
Which
so
doesn't make
anything-
sense, right?
Anything that you find 6 feet and below is not yours. That's why whenever you discover oil or minerals on
Right.
your land, it's not yours. You're going to be vacated from that
Yes.
property,
Facts.
and they don't have to answer to nobody. They,
Yeah.
they don't have to ask you. They don't have to give you notice. No,
Right.
you're just removed from that property,
Right.
and then the government takes over.
Right.
And then now this started. People are now becoming selfish because after the
That
white
is
people left,
so
they were like,
true.
our community was dismantled. We need to
Right.
get back to. That's why tribalism also came in,
Mhm.
because we were previously divided according to communities like the
Communities.
Akamba, the Kikuyu, the Kisi.
But where did that all start? Because I don't think we had all these tribes.
Actually, we did because
Are
of
you
the.
sure?
Yeah, we did.
I don't think so.
We were not enemies before.
Yeah,
we were not enemies,
all one.
but we were living according to communities.
Even before the Europeans came?
Yes, even before the
No
Europeans
way.
came. Yeah, we did.
No, I don't think we had these languages and tribes
We did.
because that's what's separating us right now. a lot.
The difference is before it didn't cause enmity because we had our own system of living with each other and
Yeah.
trading and surviving. But after these people left, now people got a selfish interest about
Mhm.
my people. My people have suffered in a specific type of way.
The
My
suffering
people
word,
need to
okay.
come back up to where we used to be before.
Right.
And we have maybe like let's get an example
Okay.
of the Kenyatta family now.
Sure. Okay, yeah.
They had
that's
one
a good
person.
example.
They had one person now who's Jomo Kenyatta,
Yeah.
who was able to seize, and he was working close with us with the people who departed.
Yes.
So he kind of had an idea of how they were managing things.
Yeah.
So you see, the first people he was going to defend and fend for were his people, the Kikuyu community. And that's
Right.
why, to be honest, in Kenya right now, the Kikuyus are amongst the richest tribes and the richest community.
That's true.
They are the money makers, you would say.
Yeah.
If you really have had an in-depth
That's a
knowledge
fact,
of
yes.
the people around, they
That
are
is
the
true.
money makers of this community.
Yeah.
So all this started from back in the day, and then after those people left, we were left scrambling for our own resources, the things that we had by ourselves.
Right.
So you see, the communism that we had back in the days,
Right.
it was distorted. And then now, after we were left having been distorted and confused and separated, now people started to have having a selfish interest
Yeah.
in terms of my community and my people need to get back to where we were before.
Yes.
And other communities are also like, same, we also want the same for our people. And that's because of now the limited resources that we have. And then
That
these
is
people,
so
when they
true.
left, they didn't leave us with the systematic arrangement that we had before.
Right.
So now everything that has been disarranged, now people start scrambling for things and they are not partitioning it equally.
Right.
So that's where tribalism started, and now people started fending for their own community. People started employing and hiring people from their own community because everyone had this interest of my people need to get back there on top where we were before.
Yeah.
So this is where all that problem started, and to be honest, it has not ended.
It has not ended.
It has not ended. We are far from ending it.
I'm sure though. Do you think our generation right now, even when you see what happened a few months ago, the protests, we didn't have any interest in regards to who is coming from whatever tribe or community. We had one common goal and one common agenda. There's a lady, her name is Dr. Arikana Chihombori, a nice, amazing Pan-Africanist who talks about everything we're talking about right now, deeper, right? And she said the day, she's been doing these videos even before I knew her, and she said the day, thanks to my boss Keith basically introducing me to her, she says the day Africa will be revolutionized is the time when we'll all be fighting for one common goal, not in regards to any selfish interests or whatever tribe that you come from, but when we'll have one common goal that is affecting everybody. And that's what happened in regards to the protests. The finance bill was kind of like a trigger which affected everybody. And the people who rose are the youth, literally, because that's what they say.
Yeah.
If you look at this Pan-Africanist, the youth are the one who are going to start the revolution agenda, which I believe is still there. So I have so much faith that a time is coming, or it's already here, when all these leaders with basically no interest in regards to what really matters to the people, they're going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to go home. Everybody who's not genuinely standing on the foundation of truth is going to be scraped off. I feel like it's just that season, right?
Gen Z is going to be the generation that will finish tribalism for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why actually the protest was so good.
Yeah.
We were united and it was going really well. I attended the very first day of the protest.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I study in town, and it actually happened. This protest started right outside my building.
Wow.
Where they were splashing the pink water, you saw?
Yes.
So I was like, there's no way we are going to sit in class.
Ah.
And people are fighting for our community and our
Right.
country out there. So we actually decided to join them, and we were so united on the streets.
Right.
But
any tear gas affected you?
Pardon?
Tear gas.
Yes, definitely. But in all the patriotic movement.
Come on,
yes.
girl.
And there's just this spirit that you feel when you're in the streets, and you're like,
What
God,
spirit is
the
that?"
tear gas will not stop me.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the society right now, people have
I agree.
reached that elastic limit. There's a
That's
limit.
a good word. Yes.
The elastic limit, we are currently there.
Yeah.
And were you seeing the protest yesterday outside of Harambe House regarding to the missing persons?
Yesterday? No.
Yeah, there was a protest outside of Harambe House.
You were in town, right?
No, I was not in town,
Right.
but I was just seeing it through the TV.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, there were protests outside Harambe House regarding missing persons
Right.
from the protest period.
Yeah.
And I actually thought, this is really good. This is
the
going to
same
be
guy
the
who was
start.
leading the protest.
No, Boniface Mwangi
Boniface
was
Mwangi?
there.
Yeah.
But it was not exactly a protest. It was the related families
Right.
who had lost people.
Yes.
They had just gathered there because the people have been missing and nothing has been done about it. And I love that we are now being able to take these things to the streets.
Right.
Because this is just the beginning of the revolution. It's about speaking up and speaking out and demanding for justice and being physical about it. Yes. So what I would like to know from your perspective.
Okay, sure.
What do you think has led to the tribelessness amongst the Gen Zs? Personally, according to me, I feel like 50 to 70% of the people I know, they don't know their mother tongue. We were raised in Nairobi, and we know English, we know Swahili, and according to depending on the school you went, you might know a little bit of French or Spanish. But most of my friends, even those few who know their mother tongue, they don't speak it
fluently, right?
Yeah, they don't.
Or they can just hear what their parents are saying, but they cannot really converse.
Yes.
Right? Or have basically a good conversation with somebody with their tribe. Yeah. That is so true what you're saying. I believe it's because also there's so much than the tribe you come from or the community that come from that brings us together. There's art, there's music, there's a lot like this generation, a lot of socialism of maybe things that bring us together in regards to talent and gifts, rather than where do you come from, which community you based on. It's not about that anymore. I feel like maybe it's a defining moment for Africa, for Kenya, to basically redefine Africa, and also starting from Kenya, right, to how it was. As you've basically said, we had a good system of community, Ubuntu, where you are because I am, because you are, or you are because I am. Yeah, togetherness, love and unity, peace. So much of no one is fighting for nothing until the colonizers came in.
Yeah,
and I feel like God is just perpetuating us back to the original state of how Africa was. Yeah,
without minus the selfishness.
Yeah, what you said when the colonizer left, that started because every community was fighting to basically get back what was stolen from them.
Yeah,
right, which basically led to tribalism, people taking more than what they had. And I believe if maybe they could have done it better for everybody to just have whatever land equal or whatever they're fighting for, to basically for it to be equal the way it was, that would be possible. But I believe also when the colonizer came and divided us on these little communities during the Berlin Conference, where we have now different countries, it was not like that. Africa was just one continent, and now everything has been divided. The minerals, the resources. We need a passport to go to South Africa. Why? It's Africa. That should be cut off. We were all one, and now we are basically fighting against each other. Even not here, even other countries. We should not be fighting towards or against or with each other. We should not be fighting with each other. We should be supporting each other. We should be celebrating each other because of Ubuntu. You are because I am.
Yeah.
But these guys were smart to basically come up with these little tiny countries that we have right now, because with that they knew like we're gonna fight for whatever each other country has.
True.
Super sad.
Yeah.
So I have so much faith. Even the fact that we're talking about this, it means revolution has started. The fact people are really talking about where they're coming from, talking about Africa, a lot of things that Africa has, talking about how the Europeans are basically ruling and controlling us through our leaders.
Yeah.
It means this generation is full of woke youths. They know what's happening. They're watching what's happening. Yeah.
The problem with our current leaders is they're still trying to prove something.
Okay.
And we're still trying to fight to be relevant.
Okay.
Because when these people left, and even before slavery was illegal, because back in the when it was still being colonialized,
Yeah.
what made Africa wealthy was slave trade. We would sell people from Africa because we had the mastermind slave traders who were still Africans, and they would sell people to go and work in the US and in other countries that colonized us, and then we would in return get manufactured goods.
Was
So
that
when
a good thing?
it was not a good thing, of course, because our people were being taken advantage of, but it was our main source of income back in the days. Slave trade and ivory, the trade of ivory.
Okay.
But now when slave trade became illegal in other countries, and people saw this is not good, and then the blacks now started fighting for their rights in the States. So this kind of put a halt into the slave trade in Africa. So they cut about 80% of our income. So the only thing we could actually export during back in the days was ivory. So you see, we literally didn't have nothing to exchange.
But I disagree with this. I don't think it was a good thing at all. The slave, it was awful.
It's awful,
It
of
was
course.
Debauchery. It was just pathetic.
It was, of course, pathetic,
Yes.
but it was our main source of income.
It's like you're agreeing to it. Like
I'm not
it
agreeing.
didn't have to be any source of. They needed us.
They needed
We
us,
didn't
of course.
need them.
But okay, just stating facts. It was what brought us money and what brought us manufactured goods.
But these
You
are
understand?
people who were basically
It was what our
being
trade.
tortured.
Yes, but it was what our trade was based on. We in turn got manufactured goods, and they came and built this transport and communication systems, but they were specifically for traveling and transporting these people. So when all of this ended,
Which was wrong.
yeah, I agree with
I
you.
feel like you're supporting this.
I'm not
slave trade
supporting
thing.
this,
Yeah.
but I'm stating the backbone of our economy back during the colonialism system.
Okay, let me get your point from there. It was the
Yes,
backbone of
our
the
economy during the back there
Okay.
in the system.
Mhm.
So when they left, you find that as Kenyans and Africans,
Right.
the only thing we could do now to still stay relevant and in communication and in exchange with those other countries were cash crops. This is now another story that's bringing the poverty that's still happening in Africa.
Right.
We were planting things like coffee and cotton so that we can continue having trade with these people so that they can give us their nice things. The only thing now we could exchange with them are things like coffee and tea, of which when you look at in terms of economic systems, one of the characteristics of a developed country is they have to switch from agriculture as their main source of income to mechanized goods now.
Right.
So, but when you look at a country like Kenya, our main source of income is agriculture. So now you find this is why we still have famine and hunger in Kenya, is because most of the people living in the dry areas, instead of planting food to eat, they are planting cotton to export because they're still trying to stay relevant to those people. Basically, they entered and colonized not only our people in the physical, but also ourselves in the minds that, we still have to stay relevant to these people. We still have to be in communication and in contact with them because they're superior to us. So we still have something to prove.
Right.
And it's coming even to the current round. Now you see like our president, the things he's doing, basically selling our country just so that we can remain relevant when we don't need to be relevant.
That's the thing.
Take an example of China, right?
Yeah.
There's a time China decided, you know what, we are going to close down our economy. They sent a few of their brightest and most intelligent people back out there to the US and Africa.
Hi, Kate. How are you doing? Hi. Keith. Hello. This is Joy, my guest. Joy, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
What
They
happened?
sent them, then they came back to their country. Mm-mm. Mhm. Mhm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. For saying something. Thank. Okay.
Okay, so what I was saying previously was the okay, this is what I learned in school. What I learned in school. Okay, let me just put it out there.
Yeah. Before I read this, continue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they sent out a few people to get knowledge on the different industries according to the things they produce.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why. So when these people came back to their country,
Yeah.
they brought all this knowledge back, and
Mhm.
that's why the manufacturing industry
Right.
grew so much because they had sent out these people into different parts of the world, and they came back with knowledge about different products. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. In addition to its low labor costs, China has become known as the world's factory because of its strong business ecosystem, relatively lax commercial regulation, low taxes and duties, and competitive currency practices. That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is what it says. I'm going to read it. It said, later in 1971, Henry, the USS Secretary of State, happened to visit China for a formal meeting that led to healthy trade relations between the two economies by the end of the decade, resulting in an increase in manufacturing in China. Is that it? Because I definitely typed whatever you told me. Mm-hmm. You're cutting off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You're good. No, you're not. You're good. You're cutting off right now. We can't hear you. Okay, there. Go. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
right?
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it would be cheaper. Of course, I agree. Mm, mm,
Mhm. And we wouldn't know that kid. Like it's not our fault, right? Because that's what we are taught. Yeah. Right. 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 Mm, right. Yeah.
mm,
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. That.
mhm,
Yeah. I agree. I
mhm.
agree to that
That's
100%.
an interesting insight over there.
In the 1960s and 70s.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is what it says. In May 1966, with the help of the Cultural Revolution Group, Mayo, MAO, launched the revolution. Mao? Mao, okay. In China? Oh, that's a Chinese name. Right, right. This is right. Mao launched the revolution and said that some elements had infiltrated the government and society with the aim of restoring capitalism. Mao called on young people to bombard the headquarters and proclaim that to rebel is justified, or to rebel is justified. Sorry. Right. what I'm saying. And then they're saying here by 1952, China's shares of global GDP had fallen to 5.2%, and by 1978, it slid to 4.9%. The adoption of economic reforms by China in the late 1970s led to a surge in China's economic growth and helped restore China. Mhm. Yeah, right. Mm, yeah. Hmm. This is what it said. Stagflation in the 1970s was a period with both high inflation and uneven economic growth, high budget deficits, lower interest rates, the oil embargo, and the collapse of managed currency rates contributed to stagflation. Right. Hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Okay. Mhm. Right. Right. Okay. You're good? You're cutting off, Keith. I didn't hear. What do you say again? Please repeat that again. You're cutting off. What lining will be the best? Theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge? Yes. Mm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you there, Keith? Right. You're cutting off again. Thinking about area or something like that. Do you agree with him? Literally?
We
Uh-huh. Okay.
okay. So are we done with that?
You can say
Because
if you have any.
I
Uh-huh.
wanted us to get back to talking about Africa now. We've had enough of the Chinese,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about this the other day. I was watching the Gaddafi Muammar documentary.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about
Do you
that.
know about the stuff he used to do before he was
Mhm.
taken out?
Right.
Yeah, he had actually taken Libya to a point where medical healthcare was almost free, and he was vouching for the United African currency. Do you remember?
But it killed a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. I don't
He
know
was
about.
not a
Okay,
good
he was not
guy.
a good guy. Okay, but did
Yes.
you know the things he did for Libya and his regimes that he wanted to implement for
I
Africa?
believe that it was just a face front.
No, that's why he was
Yes.
taken out because he wanted to reduce the Western influence in Africa by creating a united currency for
Mm-hmm.
Africa. It was called the something gold something. Yeah, the gold and then the yeah. So I believe
Expound more on that.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. It was not. Yeah.
mhm,
You're really cutting off, Keith. Like a lot. We can't hear anything. Yeah.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Right.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah. Here's a.
mm,
Mhm. Yeah.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm, mm,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
A lot of people.
Yeah. True.
Right.
Yeah. True.
Mm.
So I think
Here, just continue. Uh-huh.
so. I think someone should take that idea of just first of all the uniting African countries.
Yeah.
Someone should take that idea. And run
The
with it.
brain jury.
Yeah. Someone
The
should
leader
run
of
with that
African
idea.
continent.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right.
Most of them are still afoot to the European and American leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still having something to prove. We're still trying to prove
Prove.
something.
But we don't need to do that.
Tell that to them. Our,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Right. Mm-hmm.
mm. That's true. Mm, mhm,
Mm.
mhm, yeah.
Right.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm,
Mm.
mhm, mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm, mhm,
Right. Mm. Right.
mhm,
Right. Right.
mhm, mhm. True. Mhm,
Okay.
mm.
Glory.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Muslim. Yeah.
Yeah, but it really was.
I'm gonna play this video. I got it.
especially the wealthy among them, towards their African brothers. The wealthy Arabs treated their African brothers in a disgraceful way in the past.
ممارسة مخجلة اتجاه إخوانهم الأفارقة حيث
They brought children and took them to North Africa,
وجلبوهم
to the Arabian Peninsula, and to the other Arab regions.
بقية المناطق العربية اللي تقع بين هذين الإقليمين واستعبدوهم
They subjugated them and traded in them. in the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth. They engaged in slavery and in human trafficking. In the most brutal fashion, to tell you the truth.
مشين الحقيقة
We are ashamed, along with the African brothers, when we recall this.
الفارقة عندما نتذكر هذا.
We are ashamed of those who behaved in this manner,
وخاصة أغنياء
and especially the wealthy Arabs,
الذين نظروا لإخوانهم
who
الأفارقة
viewed the African brothers as inferior slaves.
الدنيا وهذا
This is no different from the way the West, America, and Europe
من أمريكا إلى أوروبا تجاه الأفارقة.
behave towards the Africans. They would hunt them like animals, treat them like slaves.
That guy is actually
interpreting.
it.
Mhm.
He's saying they're apologizing. He's apologizing in behalf of the Arabs
Mhm.
of how they treated the African brothers
Mhm.
engaged in human trafficking,
Mhm.
slave trade. Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm.
Mhm.
Right. Yes. Right.
Mhm.
Right. Mhm.
True.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. True. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
About Musafi, like he's a puppet. I know he's a puppet. I didn't know that. No. Right.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Nobody got mad, kid. Nobody's getting mad at you, kid. We love you. Mhm.
Mm.
Hmm. Right. Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Mm. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. Right. Hmm.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Years that we have. Hmm. Right. Yes. Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's not. That should stop.
Mhm. So what? Mhm. So what do you think are some of the redress measures we should put in place as Africans to? Yeah. Mm.
Trouble. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes. For their own
Mhm.
interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
100. Yeah. Mm. Right. No. 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Why?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
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 Of course. That's
Mm-hmm.
with pride. With
Mm-hmm.
pride. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. That's yeah.
True. Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That. Mm-hmm. That is true. Right. That is a lie. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Right. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Facts. Yeah. They
Mm-hmm.
use the inferiority complex
Mm-hmm.
ideology.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just time for us to take everything that has been stolen from us as we are winding up,
Mm-hmm.
Keith and Joy. Yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Mhm. That's so real. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Right. Mm-hmm. That is
Mm-hmm.
true. Mm. Right. Right. Right.
Mm.
Mm. Doesn't know. Find out in
True.
regards to everything that you're reading or researching, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Okay.
Mm, 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 mm.
4. Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
Right. Mm. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm. Mm, mm, mm,
Yes.
mm.
To act. Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Kate, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Any last
One,
words to him?
yeah, one last thing I just wanted to add.
Okay.
I think we should feed our people. We should get back into subsistence farming and
Right.
make sure there's enough food available for every African.
Right.
Because a healthy nation is a wealthy nation.
He was here. He just went out, but he was here. He just walked out. Oh my God. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
Not
is so
everything is
true.
for the profit all the time.
Yeah.
Our people can't be dying, and we are striving to be relevant in the world.
Thank
We
you.
need to be a healthy nation to be a wealthy nation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, literally.
Mm-hmm.
This has been an
That's our
amazing.
first problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
As friends.
Yeah. Mm.
Africa. Have you read the book Africa in Crisis, Keith? Actually, she's got the book for me. Who's the author?
It's in the front there.
Um, Lloyd Timberlake.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The causes, the cures of environmental bankruptcy. That's it. Yeah.
Mm.
What's the brief about? It's hard. She brought it to me. I don't know if you can see.
It's 1985. 1985.
This is how it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
What is? Yeah. Mm.
Mm. Mm. Mm. Mhm.
Right.
Mm. Mhm.
Right.
Mm. Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Okay. Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. Mm. Mhm.
Right.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
That is
Mm.
true. Yeah.
Mm.
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 Right. Right. As
Okay.
we're
Okay.
winding up on Let's Hope with Iriton, an amazing, amazing conversation here. You
Mhm.
feeling better right now?
Oh, I've learned more than I thought I would come to
Amazing.
dispense.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Mhm.
Africa in Crisis, guys, on YouTube. Hello, Junior Mosquito on YouTube. How are you doing this beautiful afternoon? We've been talking about Africa in Crisis, Gaddafi, talk about Africa and the wealth it has. Much love. Thank you so much. Right. Thank you so much. Yes, much love.
Mm.
Right.
Okay.
Much love. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for coming. Joy, this has been an amazing conversation. I've also learned a lot every day. And let's
Mhm.
do this once again. What do you want to say to our listeners and everybody listening us on the network and basically on YouTube and all the social media platforms?
I would love to join you again.
Oh
This,
my gosh,
yeah,
sure.
yes, of course.
Anytime.
This has been so insightful.
Yeah.
I've learned so much,
Mhm.
especially from Keith.
Yes.
What I
Amazing.
would like to say to our listeners today
Yeah.
is read from a critical thinking point of view. I think that's the most important thing I've learned today.
Right.
Yeah, and to do your own background checks
Mhm.
and to just reason for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been written, it's been put out there,
Yeah.
but you have your own mind.
Right.
Think for yourself, reason for yourself, and get the things behind the picture.
I like that, girl. The fact
Yeah.
that you've basically gotten something from the whole conversation. Critical
Yes, of
thinking.
course. I'm always learning. It's a continuous process.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that mentality. I think that's the most amazing, actually, the best character or someone value someone
Mhm.
can always have in this
Mhm.
lifetime,
Mhm.
to always learn and relearn every day. That
Yes.
you have a teachable spirit.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys for joining us here today on Let's Fuck with Iritan. Remember to download and follow us on all the social media. Download our app on Google Store and also stream on www.blackheartfriendnetwork.com to find amazing uplifting conversation in regards to everything in empowering, uplifting conversation. It's always about redefining Africans as we redefine ourselves because We are the change you need to see in the world. Remember to always spread love and kindness like a confetti. And it's time for Africa to take back everything that's been stolen away from it. We're not asking for it, we're basically demanding for it by force.
Yes.
Taking it by force, because we are the most wealthiest nation of all time. Melanin is power. So we're basically walking with confidence, owning our African identity, and basically taking back Africa to how it was, the wealth and the land of abundance. They used to call it the Garden of Eden,
Mhm,
literally.
mhm.
Yes, so that's it, guys. Take care. Have an amazing afternoon. Remember to always stay rooted. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a blast. See you later on to Bonge.
My seeds be deep now. Me rooted in the melody. Young girls stay rooted. I done plant my seeds down rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting him. Know that if I have his tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. Floodgates coming, no, it don't stop 'em. I know that life, it ain't easy. Your life, it matters, believe me. Roll out the face and the front. Hide it behind a facade. Young girls, stay rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm